Senate Bill SB 1452. Short title, Arizona Empowerment Scholarship Account Revisions. This bill was introduced by Senator Boyer. In my book, he finally has a good bill. I like this bill. Boyer, and it obviously passed the Senate, so it will be in the House Ways and Means Committee on Wednesday. And what it does, and we have to explain a little bit what the Empowerment Scholarship Account is, and I'll do that in a minute. But what it does is that it extends the eligibility of children or students to be able to participate in the program. It expands that to recipients or involved in Title I schools. And those are the poor kids, that essentially is what it amounts to. If they're participating in a Title I school, or if they are in the lunch program where they get a discount because the low income. No, it favors low income kids. It's basically what it amounts to. These empowerment scholarship accounts, they are fought tooth and nail by the teachers unions and the school boards and all of them, because if a student participates in one of these accounts, then he or she can use the money that they would get from this program and use it for either a private school or private tutoring and so on. But there's a couple of things about it. Number one is that the people who can participate in this is quite limited. And a list of the people that can participate. Okay, so if the student has a disability, okay, if with a preschool student or a K-12 student has a disability, he can or she can participate. If the parent is in the military, active duty military, or death or died in the military and killed in action. If the student has a parent which is legally blind, deaf, hard of hearing, if a student attends a D or F rated school, in other words, if they attend a school that's been totally worthless, if the student resides with within a Native American reservation, if the student or in other words, they are limited as to, it's not a blanket thing. In other words, it's not that you can do this. It actually should be. People should be able to direct their tax money in any place they want, but it's not. This empowerment scholarship accounts are available only to certain segments of the population. What this bill does is it adds actually two more types of recipients, but which are in the same category. Title I or reduced or free lunch programs. Both of those categories are people who are at the poverty level. This should be something that the Democrats and the school people should favor 100%, but it's just the opposite. You know, why they do that and still claim that they're for the people is beyond me. Now, one other thing that we have to mention about these scholarships is that when somebody is eligible to move the student from the public school to, say, a private school, 90% of the funding that was attached to that student goes with the student to the new school. 90%. What does that mean? Well, that means that the school district still keeps 10%.
More than that.
Well, no, that's the statute says they keep 10%. There's more than that, but they keep 10% by statute. So what that means is that now they have one less student, but they keep 10% of the funding associated with that student. Okay? So actually, it's good for the school. Up to a point, it's good for the school to have all these kids leave, because now it's like you and I, okay? Mm-hmm. And I am charging you $100 for a fee. and then you decide that you're not going to do business with me because of whatever reason you're going to go someplace else, and you take your money with you, but you don't get to take the whole $100. You get to take only 90, and I keep $10, even though I'm not doing anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the schools do here.
Right, yeah.
So this is something that should be a no-brainer. Everybody should vote in favor of this. And I would like to recommend people that they contact their legislators, the members of the House Ways and Means Committee, and express their opinion in favor of this bill. And I don't know if Archie, by the way, folks, we never know if Archie is going to agree with me or not. He does a very good job of being unpredictable. So he may agree, he may disagree. So Archie, what do you think?
Jose, I've been trying awfully hard for a number of years now to try to figure out why the legislature and the school districts makes educating a student so complicated. It doesn't really have to be complicated.
I can answer that for you.
And we're making this extremely complicated. But I have to agree that with Jose, that at least we're in, Mr. Boyer is increasing the amount that they get by a whopping $40 a year. And that just is absolutely amazing to me. Understand that on an average, the state of Arizona spends through state, county, and federal dollars, they spend $10,000 a year per student. Now, according to this, the child under that empowerment scholarship, they're going to get a whopping $4,345. Whoa, where goes the rest of it, my friends? My opinion is get rid of empowerment scholarships totally. And if a student wants to go to a private school, no matter what their income is, they get that $10,000 to pay the cost. This is the entire thing is a mess. We need to have somebody get together and put a committee together to totally rewrite our education code, which consists of thousands of code sections, and none of it makes any sense. This is, to the extent that it's increasing it by $40 a year, whoopee, good, vote for it. But get rid of empowerment scholarships and everything else and give the students the money that we spend for them and let them take it wherever they want to go so that they can get a decent education because they're not getting it in a public school. We still have 40% of the students graduating from the 12th grade that cannot read or write. And that is not something that's good.
Well, yes. I would much rather have that. In fact, I would much rather win the lottery, okay? But that's not going to happen either. What we need here is to revamp the whole system. However, under the current positions, under the current situations, there's no way that we're going to do that. So what this bill does is that it provides a little bit of an improvement because it adds another category to those people that are eligible for the Empowerment Scholarship account. Maybe next year we can add someone else. We have, by the way, in the past, and I believe, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, we had a bill in the legislature that would have made the Empowerment Scholarship account available to everyone, not just certain kids. But that failed miserably. Okay, so I would like to see that happen, but it's not going to happen, not under the political atmosphere that we have in Arizona today. So this bill is not perfect, but it's a tiny step in the right direction, and I'm in favor of it 100%.